Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. Today, we got another Crowley video, and I realized that I haven't done the rest of the Darkest Channels videos from Nick Crowley, so we're going to get right into them. This is YouTube's Darkest Channels number 2. We're going to get right into this, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment what you think down below. Let's go.
If you're having a little trouble with the picture on the TV now, maybe you just need to adjust the tracking on your VCR.
We've been here before. The dark side of YouTube. A home to the disturbed and the tragic that goes well beyond just what we see on our screens.
Police are investigating a deadly shooting.
A side that shows us just how twisted humanity can really be. A side reserved by YouTube's darkest channels. Before we begin, this video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Anyone who has watched my channel knows that the internet is a dark place, so it's imperative to be protected when using it, which is where Surfshark comes in. Surfshark is a VPN that protects you from malware, tracking, and phishing attempts, assuring that your personal information is kept safely on your devices. You can try it now risk-free with their 30-day money-back guarantee. Just head over to surfshark.deal/Nick Crowley and use the promo code Nick Crowley at checkout, and you'll receive 83% off of a 2-year plan, along with 3 months added in free. Again, that's surfshark.deal/Nick Crowley. Thank you again to Surfshark. Admittedly, it doesn't look like much. In fact, the footage we're watching seems nothing shy of normal. A family spending the day out, getting to see Thomas the Tank. It was all smiles and all laughter. On screen, we see the
I know it's for children, but if I saw that thing would disturb me. That thing would genuinely disturb me. If I saw that. Giant Thomas Tank Engine with fucking eyes glancing in different directions. Nah, that'd creep me out at first. I'm weird like that.
youngest member of the family.
It won't give me nightmare feel. I just find it weird. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want that thing looking at me. I don't need that thing looking my direction at all once.
Ainsley Stapleton, and her older brother McEwen. Behind the camera was their father Matt. And here we see Kelly Stapleton and her daughter Isabel, or Izzy for short. The video highlighted the family of 5 having one of their many fun days out of the house, with a video being posted to YouTube under the title Stapleton's Day Out with Thomas. This clip went live all the way back in May of 2008 and would be the first of many videos posted to Kelly Stapleton's YouTube channel. And for the first 2 years of this channel's existence, many videos followed the same mold. Crudely edited clips showing the Stapleton family's wholesome moments. It's clear from these videos that the Stapleton family was a unit, even at times performing songs as a group together, and in many ways they all seemed like the perfect family. And it's likely that no one could have guessed the disturbing future that they were headed for. As 2010 came around, Kelly seemed to be growing less and less interested in sharing these family clips to YouTube, and by mid-July, the final video was posted before the channel appeared to be dropped for good. In the description, Kelly writes, "Mom and autistic daughter finally danced together. This dance project was years in the making." The video shows the heartwarming moments of Kelly and Izzy dancing together on stage. This also served as the first confirmation throughout the channel that the Stapletons' daughter Izzy had autism, a fact that will prove crucial as the story continues.
autism is a tough thing. I have a niece who has autism, and it can be tough. It can be tough to deal with. Thought I had something else to add. That was it.
News. With that upload, Kelly Stapleton's channel fell dormant, and the small channel filled with precious family memories faded into oblivion. However, this wouldn't end up being the last time Kelly would post on YouTube, as after a 3-year-long break, the family would come back with a new string of videos. Videos that were a far cry from the wholesome content they had previously posted. On February 5th, 2013, Kelly would upload a 28-second long clip entitled Typical Day, and fair warning, it's disturbing. This video came as an absolute shock compared to the channel's previous content, as it seemed to show some kind of very real physical altercation, with Kelly clarifying in the description what was supposedly happening here. Kelly writes, "My autistic daughter is aggressive. She was agitated and pulled my hair, then hit me several times. I was in the process of calling my husband for help when I must have hit the record button. This video is what happened next." And though this video shows us a
This is probably a scenario where the way the family is treating her, the autistic one, and her herself, and then the autistic daughter Izzy, are kind of colliding. Where Izzy might be dealing with some sort of abuse. It's probably not actually like meant to be abuse, but maybe they're treating her differently because she's autistic and all that. And she's lashing out in the only way she might know how. Physically. That might be what it is. She might just only know how to deal with that in that way. And that could be the case with this situation, is she doesn't know how to handle it. Does not express how she feels, and because of that, she just reacts in violence. It happened, like, that can't happen.
glimpse at how bad things had gotten. It was Kelly's blog that had all the details. In it, she shares how Izzy had become physically abusive to members of the family, but especially with her, with Kelly even sharing pictures from the hospital where she had to go thanks to one of Izzy's outbursts. And according to Kelly, she was only getting more violent. This was highlighted in the next video uploaded to the channel. Again,
This is, I'm gonna assume, is it a classroom? Doctor's room? I don't know where this is. Therapy? Hold on. Then I'll go back. See, this is the scenario where you have to, yeah, there has to be a plan. You have to go into a situation where she has to get therapy or help. Maybe that family just is not the one that can handle her. You know what I mean? Because that sometimes happens in this situation. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't make them bad parents if the situation is you can't you want the family to provide help the autistic child. Doesn't make them bad parents. It's probably you doing your best for as a parent, because you're helping on the best for the child.
Again, this clip shows Izzy acting violently, this time with staff at her residential facility. Around the time of these posts, a news program was actually made on the family story, shedding even more light on their upsetting situation. The story tells of how Izzy had been placed in a special home where she was receiving treatment, and there she had also been having these violent outbursts. It was clear that she needed more time and more treatment there, or perhaps a new form of treatment altogether. But ultimately, Kelly and Matt had ran out of money, and Izzy moved back home.
She's gonna come home, and this is not gonna be pretty.
Well, you said to me she's gonna kill you.
She will.
You feel that way?
Yes.
It's a very sad and twisted situation. A mom afraid of her own daughter. And it's made worse by the fact that this wasn't really Izzy's fault.
Nope.
She was a victim of her own mind, and she needed—
Well, I'm saying she doesn't know how to deal. I'm telling you, this is what it was. She didn't know how to deal with the situation. She doesn't know what she's doing. She has no idea. She's just reacting the only way she knows how. She's not in the right mindset. She's not... Again, this might be just the only way she knows how to show her emotion. Which could be confusion, or not understanding, or anger, or whatever it is. The only way she knows how to respond is violence, physically. And a family looks at it as a problem. It's not her fault. You can't blame her for it. It's not her fault. I feel bad for her, because again, she's been put in a position where she's bad, and in her mind, you gotta think what her mind's thinking. She's been put in therapy and all that. She's probably feeling like she's not normal. She's made to believe she's probably being told she needs help, which doesn't help her mind. Like, there was a lot going on in Izzy's mind that no one really thinks when it comes to autistic people. No one really no one truly understands what's going on in their mind, but I can tell you, she does not mean to be violent. I can guarantee that.
Needed better treatment to aid with her violent outbursts. During Izzy's time at home, Kelly would make 2 more videos with her, with the final being titled Nightly Prayers, a video that featured no description and no comments.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. Angel of God, my guardian dear, to whom God's love entrust me here. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
The video shows the mother and daughter praying together, and at a glance, it seemed like maybe Izzy's treatment was starting to work. But strangely enough, this would be the final post ever made to the channel. And in the past 7 years, there has been no activity from the account, effectively marking the end of the Kelly Stapleton channel. It was also around this time that Kelly's blog became virtually inactive. So what ended up happening to the Stapleton family? And why did Kelly stop posting to her blog and to her channel? Well, surprisingly, it was all thanks to a camping trip.
1, 2, 3. When you go camping, what do you have to do? You have to fetch some firewood, that's what campers do.
It happened on September 3rd, 2013. Kelly approached Izzy and asked her to go on a mother-daughter camping trip. Izzy agreed, as Kelly had promised she could have as many s'mores as she wanted, which happened to be her favorite snack. So they drove out to a rural spot in Kenzie County, Michigan, and parked their van. There they sat by the fire as Izzy made s'more after s'more, something that I imagine must have made her incredibly happy. After some time, Izzy had got back in the van and sat in the front seat, as her mom packed up their equipment in the back. In the trunk of the vehicle were 2 charcoal stoves that Kelly had brought for their night, so she grabbed them both and set them up in the back seat. She filled them with charcoal and one by one lit them up. Kelly got back in the vehicle and sat in the driver's seat next to Izzy, and as the smoke began to
just realized what she was gonna do. No, don't fucking tell me this woman takes her and her fucking kid's life. Don't tell me she took the life of this fucking autistic child. This child does not deserve this. Oh my fucking god.
fill the car, she rolled up the windows and locked the doors. Izzy likely had no idea that this was never planned to be a night of camping. It was a planned murder-suicide, a plan hatched by her own mother. It seems that Kelly believed her daughter.
I hate this woman. I hate this woman so much. Because you had other options. This wasn't the last resort. This wasn't the only option she had. It wasn't. She had other options. Have a child adopted. Have another child there. Have her go to another family or something like that. Go to foster care, something. Have her go somewhere that will treat her. Have her go somewhere where she'll be treated and cared for, and will treat her for her problem and help her with that. This isn't the fucking resort you go to.
Could no longer be helped, and she was tired of caring for her, and her plan was for the carbon monoxide to kill them both in the van, so that neither of them had to deal with this anymore.
Did the husband know this plan? Did the husband know that what she was going to do?
And so they sat there and they waited as the poisonous gas slowly pushed them closer and closer to death. Kelly would send one final text to Matt before the two drifted off.
When the work is over and the stars are shining bright, it's time to go to bed. It's time to say goodnight. Say goodnight.
How could it go from this to murder-suicide? Upon receiving the first text, Matt immediately notified authorities, and the van would be...
Okay, he wasn't aware. So he got a text explaining what was probably her saying what was gonna happen. And he's like, excuse me, like, what the fuck? He just called 911. It's like, hey, my wife's going crazy. She took my autistic daughter away on a camping trip and now plans to take both her life and theirs. Please get there, please.
Found hours later. And by some miracle, Kelly and Izzy were both still breathing.
Oh, thank God. Thank fucking God. Thank God they were both alive. I don't know if they're gonna remain alive, because it, can affect you afterwards, but thank God they're not, neither of them were found. Actually, fuck Kelly. Thank God Izzy was not found with her life. Thank God Izzy was still alive.
It wouldn't take long for Kelly to completely recover, with cops waiting to arrest her as soon as she was discharged. But Izzy wasn't so lucky. The fumes had made her fall into a coma, but luckily, after 3 long days, she became responsive, suffering only minor long-term brain injuries. Today, Kelly is still serving time in prison, and Izzy has continued receiving treatment. In one of the most shocking parts,
Thank God. Okay, I hate this. I hate this line. I'm sorry, I have the accused? Mother accused in attempted murder? What, you think the fucking daughter did it? What do you mean accused? What do you mean accused? That's what fucking happened. I hate this word so much. I know they have to use. I hate that word so much.
so the aftermath, to me, was the public's response to Kelly. The comments on our videos are filled with...
You've gotta be kidding me. Honestly, I don't blame her one bit. Abused victim, regardless of relationship to the abuser, goes to extreme length to get out they can. This girl is a demon. Fuck you. Fuck you, Abby May. The girl's fucking autistic. You can't say the girl's a fucking demon. Fuck you. And 13 you're that's you. You are a demon for wishing. You are a demon, Abby May.
overwhelming support for those who agreed with her decision to try.
Kelly, my heart goes out to you. I want you to know that I'm a supporter of you. You are a wonderful mom. No, she is not. She just tended to take the life of a child. I don't know how the rest of her is. She might be a freaking fine parent when it comes to the rest of her kids, but she isn't when it comes to Izzy. Our system for those with mental health is insert awful words you can find here. Okay, I will admit, this I'll agree with. Our system for those with mental health is bullshit. Let's use that word. I agree with this. The system isn't meant for people. With mental illness isn't great, especially in what 2011, 20 thing. It wasn't great. It still has issues. So I will agree with that. That part you get to agreement. Our system with mental illness is insert every awful word you can find here. Yeah, I agree with that. I work as an RN for those and help those with mental illness to get better. Quotations. Only to be handled with a taxi voucher with when discharged from the hospital. To be on their own all because they weren't bad enough to get inpatient help. Our system resembles how Hitler treated those with Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Okay. I agreed with this. I can't agree with this. Our system resembles how Hitler treated those with mental illness. Hold on a minute. I refuse. Okay, no. No, I won't let that go across. Oh, fucking hell.
Try and kill her.
Again, so when it comes to this one, this girl isn't as bad as Abby May. Okay, I understand her thought process. Even though what she did is not okay at all, and not right, and she shouldn't be able to she should not be allowed to be around Izzy again. This girl's more just has an issue with support, understands the fact that she wasn't treated right. Abby May, on the other hand. Can I find Abby May's thing? Abby May, on the other hand, is straight up messed up. She's straight fucked. I hope she finds this video. If you find this video, Abby May, you're fucked. If you're this Abby May, you're messed up. You're fucked up. This girl is just still not okay for the fact she's on her side and saying she's a wonderful mom. What I will say though is at least there's her issue, she's bringing up the fact that the system, which I agree with, the system isn't made for people help for people with mental illness. It's not how Hitler treated those with mental illness. I refuse to go with that, but
her own daughter, with one user saying, "I agree 100%, I would put that animal up."
put that up
With
again.
one user saying, "I agree 100."
Elise! You're fucked up. No, it doesn't. Hold on, I'm just gonna read it. She goes, I agree 100%. I would put that animal up. Now, Izzy is abusing her sister. I would protect my other child and hand the animal up to authorities. That might sound bad, but it makes sense. No, it doesn't. Because this girl's not a fucking animal. She's a fucking child with a mental illness that she's unaware of her fucking actions. You can't compare it to a fucking rabid fucking animal. So, fuck you, Elise. I hope you find my video too, because fuck you.
100%, I would put that animal up, and you did absolutely everything.
This one, okay, this is Madame Moria. I'm gonna read every one of these. Kelly, I'm sympathizing with you. You're a human being pushed to absolute breaking point. From reading all the stories in the report, I don't think a single thing more you could have done or tried to make it for your daughter more livable. You did absolutely everything possible. You should be proud of all you did for Izzy and all you accomplished. My heart goes out to you. Stay strong. Don't hate yourself. I for one support you and understand why you did what you did. Fuck you. No, I believe. This is the thing. Again, I believe that Kelly in her mind believes she did everything possible for Izzy to try to make her situation as best as she could. I will believe that. I will go with that. I actually believe that. Here's where it went wrong. When you realize what you could have done, everything you did was not working, there were other options. I refuse to believe this was not the last option. She did not need to do this. Kelly is a bad person, an evil person for doing what she did to Izzy, because Izzy did nothing wrong and did not deserve that. Izzy was unaware of her own actions. Did not know what she was doing. No way can I sympathize with Kelly here. I sympathize with Kelly when she comes to being abusive, but it changed once. She thought that the only thing she could do was take her child's life. That's where it changes, because there were other options.
Possible. You should be proud of all you tried to do for Izzy and all you accomplished. I for one support you and understand why you did what you did. It's all very disturbing, and though the family was in a tough spot, they could have turned to foster care, group homes, new medication, or even just a new treatment plan.
Yeah, could have done medication, foster care, treatment plan. There were other options. No way was that Kelly's last resort. No way was that the only thing Kelly could do. It never would have been. If you can't take care of everything, the child, find foster care who can. End of story.
As in the time following the event, the family has been highly criticized for using a treatment plan that is known to cause agitation and anger. There was a lot more that could have been done.
So the treatment plan they had her on is known to cause aggravation and violent outbursts. So they chose the wrong fucking plan. Why are we blaming Izzy here? You chose a bad business plan. Treatment plan. I don't know why I said business. You chose a bad treatment plan. That's okay. You go to the next one. Hopefully she's doing better now. I hope. But this is ridiculous.
Rather than murder your own child and rob her of the rest of her life. Kelly Stapleton's channel will forever serve as proof that there's more than what meets the eye. The family seemed perfect, but in reality, they were more troubled than most. This is a theme that I've seen throughout YouTube. Channels who attempt to follow this mold. They make themselves look loving, caring, and perfect to cover up their true darkness. And typically, you can find these channels leached onto the most wholesome of genres. so that no one would suspect them, with family channels being the latest rabbit hole that I've fallen down. And though a channel such as Daddy05 may have been talked to death and listed as public enemy #1, there is surprisingly a lesser known channel, one that was much, much worse. Back in June of 2012, the first video was posted to the Fantastic Adventures channel, a channel that would feature a variety of kids-friendly content, mostly in the form of skits. The channel featured 7 children, all between the ages of 6 to 15, and behind the scenes, it was run by their adopted mother.
I'm going to assume that Nick covered their face, so we don't know who they are. That's what I'm going to assume. I'm going to assume they went up with a channel hiding their face, because that's really weird. See, I'm going to assume Nick did that.
Mother, Michelle Hobson, who would orchestrate.
Oh, you look evil. Oh, you look evil. Oh, you should not. You look like someone that do something bad to children. I'm sorry, but she does. Tell me she doesn't. Oh, she looks like a problem.
Orchestrate the skits, the editing, and the posting of the actual videos, along with her 2 older biological sons who also helped out. And when you see the content, it seems so similar to what so many others are doing nowadays. A family making goofy, lighthearted skits made for children. And much like many channels in this genre, it pulled an incredible amount of views. Throughout its lifespan, the channel gained over 800,000 subscribers and a staggering 250 million views. Young kids were absolutely loving this content, and parents likely viewed it as a wholesome family-run account. However, what many didn't know was that behind the scenes, a storm was brewing.
Because of the nature of what we're talking about, I know what the end result is going to be done. There's something bad happened to the children. That seems to be the second time we're going to have this story. So I'm trying to bear myself for it, because I think people who have watched this channel has figured out that to me, parents abusing children is where my line is crossed. And parents abusing children is where I get the most emotional. Because it's just messed up anytime I hear it, and it like eats me to a core that there are people who have children who can be like that. Like it eats me alive.
It's now come forward that for years, neighbors were suspicious of the activities taking place in the house. It's unclear what exactly they had seen or heard, but we know that people in the neighborhood had reported Michelle to the Department of Child Safety 15 separate times.
Jesus Christ. How do you report someone 15 times to Child Protective Services and they still have children? I would have to think that if they reported that many times, there probably is something they're seeing. No way this woman is that hated that everyone's just doing it for the sake of doing it. There has to be a reason behind it.
That alone is a major indication that something wasn't quite right with the family-run channel. But ultimately, the reports didn't lead to anything, and the family continued operating their page.
Again, this is another scenario where Child Protective Services somehow could have stopped a situation if they did their... This woman was reported 15 times. You think it was for nothing? You didn't click in your brain that there has to be something up going on for people to report it 15 times? They're not fucking good at their job. I've dealt with Child Protective Services in my family. They're not fucking good at what they do.
Which meant more money going straight to Michelle's pockets, with the channel's revenue being as high as $3 million per year.
Whew.
Things...
Whew. I fucking wish to make that much money a year. Jesus. God damn. That's messed up.
Were looking great for the channel, as the family was nothing shy of a success story. A story that in March of 2019 revealed its biggest plot twist. It was around this time that Michelle's biological daughter, Megan, had noticed some concerning signs with the kids. Megan was no longer living with her mother when they operated the channel, but she would often visit and occasionally even appear in the family sketches. And on these visits, she started to realize that many of the children showed signs of abuse. And so, concerned for her adopted siblings, Megan decided to call authorities and report the potential of.
Interesting. Okay, so the daughter, because the son's clearly, something was going on, they were aware of it. The daughter didn't live with the mother, but walked in and saw there was some off with the children, and went, okay, I gotta step in here. Like, there's something not right, and looks like they're being abused. I gotta step in here. Good for the daughter. Good for Megan. Good for Megan to stepping in and not let it just assuming the best from her mother, and just going like, no, they're probably fine. My mom's great. She like looked. She's like, okay, something's up here.
Abuse, and it's a good thing she did. Police would end up making a welfare check at the house that revealed the shocking abuse the children were being.
I sure the volume wasn't fully up, so I fixed that.
Put through. The welfare check showed that the kids had been forced into making these YouTube videos, to the point where Michelle had actually pulled the majority of them out of school.
Okay, listen, I understand wanting to make a YouTube channel. That's a little ridiculous. That's insane. We're gonna pull you from school so you can make YouTube videos. That's ridiculous.
So that they would have more time to create content. If one of the kids refused to participate, they would be beaten with belts and coat hangers, and even Michelle's own fists. The same would be.
Oh my god. So if any child said they didn't want to be in a YouTube video, they'd be beaten with a belt, whips, and their own fist. All for just. Why? What? I'm surprised that she was allowed to have kids. Like, allowed to have, like, she was even, like, that this wasn't a case going through years in the family. But to be that obsessive over like, an anger-inducing over a YouTube channel? Like, you that desperate to have a famous YouTube channel? Like, that's ridiculous.
Be done to the kids if they stuttered or messed up one of their lines. It's absolutely appalling. And the fact that each of these.
It is absolutely appalling. That is sickening. That's fucking sickening.
Children were adopted makes one question if this channel was her motive for adopting so many kids, so that she could use them to create content. But the abuse is far worse than just what I've told you. When police entered the home, they found each of the children to be extremely malnourished, being starved and dehydrated. One kid was also found trapped inside of a dark closet with a diaper on, which was supposedly one of their usual punishments. In Michelle's room, there was a closet that had a deadbolt lock on.
Trying to remain calm. I'm trying. Every part of me just wants to throw the mic and like just stop filming right now. 'Cause hearing these is making me sick. I hope this woman rots in hell.
On the outside, the children would be put inside of there and locked in the darkness for days without food, water, or even a place to use the bathroom.
How did no... I'm shocked. And I'm shocked no child has died in this home. I'm surprised none of the child she did, like, none of the child, all the children she died, I'm surprised none of them have died. The amount she abused them and starved them and all that, I'm surprised none of them have died.
They would either have to go in diapers or on the floor. And all this was done if they were reluctant in any part of the filming process. And the punishments continue. They would also be forced into taking ice baths, and if they tried to get out, Michelle would hold their heads underwater for extended periods of time.
This woman, I hope, literally rots in prison. I want her to rot in hell. Can we execute her, like, execution, assassin style? Can we just fucking open fire on her ass?
Nearly to the point of drowning these kids. A few of the boys had also told police that Michelle had forcefully grabbed them by their private parts and pinched them so hard to the point that they'd bleed. It's absolutely horrendous to imagine, and it's not even the worst punishment they'd face. Michelle also kept multiple cans of pepper spray in the house, and when the children would misbehave, she would spray them. And not just a little bit, she would cover their entire body from head to toe.
I hope I want her to die. That's the best way. I want her to die for what she did. I have heard this thing. You've watched me react to videos involving children being abused. I don't know if I'm having anger and I want for the person doing the abuse in this to literally die more than her. Fuck this girl. Fuck her. I hope she's going to fucking hell.
With one of the adopted daughters reporting that Michelle had even sprayed her inside of her private area, which put her in extreme pain for days. It's unimaginable, and all this abuse was orchestrated by Michelle to virtually make her adopted children slaves to work on this YouTube channel and make her millions. This revelation instantly made this channel one of the darkest on the platform,
100%.
with it being so twisted that YouTube ended up terminating it not long after.
I understand why. I completely get it, because if you couldn't watch those videos the same. You cannot watch any of these videos the same.
After the news had broken. If only they took that kind of action with some other accounts. But to add to this morbid story, Michelle would never end up serving a prison sentence.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. We're starting with breaking news. Michelle Hobson, the Maricopa woman accused of abusing her adopted kids and forcing them to perform on YouTube videos, died earlier today.
Hobson has
At least she's dead. I'm sorry that's my response, but at least she's dead. I'm glad she's dead. Okay, that's my only pause. It sucks she never got jail time, but she's in hell. She's right in hell, where she belongs. Oh, but thank God that bitch is dead.
Has been sick for a while. She suffered a brain injury while in custody months ago and had missed several court dates.
She ended up passing away in November of that year before she could ever face any real consequence. In a story so dark and twisted, Michelle's biological daughter Megan was the true hero. She ended up...
Thank God for Megan. Let's give it up for Megan. The only one. Because her two sons had to have known this. There's no way they did it. The two biological sons had to have known this. Because they were in the videos multiple times. So they had to have known what was going on. They did nothing. Megan did something. And thank God for that. Thank God for that.
Up adopting two of the kids, with the others being placed in foster care. And without her, this abuse would likely still be happening, because no one would know. It's a shame that Michelle's twisted truths didn't come out any sooner, as they remained hidden in the shadows for years. But this isn't always the case. Some channels will do their best to try and hide their dark backstories, but their attempts don't even last a day, with people immediately questioning their legitimacy. But as we'll see from our final channel, even then, it's oftentimes too late.
Interesting. I'm actually curious about this last one now, but I will... Last topic on the thing. I hope every child who's in this, who was abused by that witch, is doing well physically. I hope they're doing well mentally. I hope they're getting the help they need. Because they've gone through a lot of trauma, physically and mentally. So I hope they're all doing well in their new home. I know two of them were adopted by Megan. I hope they're doing well. I hope the best for them.
Which brings us to our final story, the story of Russian pop singer Ziliam Bakev. Born in Chechnya, Bakev grew up with a passion for singing, and those around him knew that he had the voice to make it big. And by 2017, he had already managed to make quite a name for himself in the Russian music scene, scoring a number of hit songs. And all this was accomplished at the age of just 25, making it clear that he had an incredibly promising future ahead. A future that would take a sudden and mysterious detour in August of that year. On the 6th of August, Bakev had flown into Grozny to attend his sister's wedding. The special moment was a break in the never-ending grind to make it as a famous singer. But despite the time off, he would soon have to leave for Moscow to attend a talent competition. He would never make it there. Because on the 8th of August, Bakev went out to explore Grozny after the wedding, and never came back, with his phone being shut off and all of his social media accounts being deactivated. Bakev was at the peak of his career. He was living a life he had always dreamed of, and he just disappeared without a trace or an explanation. Did he run away and start a new life, or was he taken? Nobody knew, as the case became a widespread mystery throughout the region, and it wouldn't go without answers for long, as a break would quickly come in the form of two eyewitnesses who had claimed to have seen exactly what happened to Bakev. On the evening of August 8th, 2017, two bystanders had witnessed the singer acting in a
This is 2017, so this is 7 years ago. About 7 years ago. 6, 7 years ago. Okay.
calm and casual manner. As the bystanders watched, they would witness Bakev as he was approached by SOBR security forces, a rapid reaction military group, a group that typically handles terrorist threats and other major cases like that. The witnesses claimed that after being confronted by the group, Bakev was then placed in handcuffs, put in the vehicle, and driven off, never to be seen again.
What the hell? That's like some execution style We gonna find out this guy's a secret terrorist or something? What the hell?
Seemingly normal-looking singer being detained by a military group. It just didn't make any sense. What kind of risk could this young man have posed? And even more strangely, in the days following the alleged arrest, the Chechen government denied these reports and stated that Bakev had not actually been arrested. All this despite the fact that the eyewitnesses were proven to be credible. So what's with the secrecy, and where did Bakev end up?
That's what I'm curious, because they're denying it, but the credible eyewitnesses saw it. And I don't think the eyewitnesses are lying, because they'd have no reason to. So, military's lying. Why?
Well, as it turns out, the young pop singer may have found himself in a concentration camp.
What?
It's a shocking idea, and without context, it certainly sounds crazy, but it might actually make sense. At the time of his disappearance, it was said that a shockingly high number of gay men had mysteriously vanished from the region, with many of their whereabouts still being unknown. Because of this, there were rumors floating around Chechnya that gay men in the country were being secretly abducted and held at concentration camps in the area, camps where the victims would be tortured in an attempt to either kill them or turn them straight. And as strange as this all...
That doesn't make any goddamn sense. What? Okay. So Russian people lost their mind is what happened here. They went over and they decided to kidnap they were kidnapping gay men. Are they still doing it? I don't even know. They might still be. But they kidnapped gay men and put them in concentration camp, hoping to torture them to like women. Like that's not how it works. That's not how that works. That can't happen. Weird ass thing.
Sounds. It's actually true.
What?
We turn now to a story causing global outrage out of the Russian Republic of Chechnya.
A coordinated government campaign to round up and eliminate gay men. He says he was detained for more than a week, then starved and brutally tortured.
It's said that there are frequent purges in the area to rid Chechnya of homosexuality, where victims are abducted by government-led groups and brought to these camps. Those who are sent there are not only tortured, but oftentimes forced into straight marriages, or even into killing themselves. Now, on a few occasions, it's also said that a few of the victims are sent home to their families, which should be a good thing. Well, apparently not, as they are only sent home on the condition that their own families kill them.
What? So they are sent home with the order to the family that you must kill him. Like he must die. What the Yo, Russian people are fucked. This is fucked.
It's a disturbing and twisted thing that is likely happening right now as we speak, with practically no news coverage here in the US. And truthfully, this whole situation would warrant...
Of course it's not going to be done in the US, because it's not affecting the US, despite the fact it's a big fucking problem. but it's not affecting the U.S. So of course it ain't gonna be done in the U.S. It's like it's not gonna be done. Mentioned probably here in Canada because it's not affecting Canada. But it's a fucked up situation. It should be known worldwide.
Warrant its own video, so I won't go that far into detail. But nonetheless, these purges are really happening. And as you might have guessed, Bakayev was openly gay himself, and he had found himself in Chechnya during the peak of one of these purges. He was also extremely recognizable given his star status, making him an easy target for the military group to abduct. With many assuming this to be the reason for Bakayev's disappearance, it seemed likely that he was killed in one of these camps, as it's said that many people who go there don't make it out. Now, though this story is incredibly dark, you may be wondering, what does this have to do with YouTube? As after all, the singer didn't even have his own channel. Well, this would all change on September 24th of 2017, when Bakayev would show the world that he wasn't actually missing, and that he apparently wasn't trapped in an anti-gay concentration camp either. On that day, Bakayev would upload a video to a brand new YouTube channel, supposedly showing that he was doing well, and that he was now living in Germany.
Салам алейкум, Ислам. Рус, подержи-ка. Вот так вот. Не закрывай так.
He explains how he gave up his life as a singer and had taken up a simpler, more stress-free life. The channel itself consists of just 2 uploads, both coming on the same day, and showing the now former singer dancing and laughing and just appearing to have a good time. It was great news. He seems happy, and it proves that he was alive and not actually in danger. And at least the clips would provide some closure for his...
I'm about to say, like, that doesn't mean anything. These are clear, like, that could easily been uploaded by, like, government to make it seem like, hey, look, he's alive. Y'all don't need to worry about it now. You can all leave it alone.
His family and stop the spread of this rumor. However, as I mentioned previously, it's easy to hide behind a screen and make everything seem perfect.
Yep.
But there's always those who can see right through it. Immediately upon the video's release, loved ones of Bakayev claimed that he had been acting completely out of character in these videos. In many instances, his speech and his movements feel strained.
Все такие есть, спокойные. Напрягаться абсолютно не надо.
And there are quite a few examples of seemingly fake laughter.
Короче, все в наших руках. Так что, Ислам, обязательно приезжай.
And by the second video, he even starts dancing, but you can tell that he seems to be slightly uncomfortable by doing so. Also, there are moments where Bakayev is clearly reading off of a script, an idea that could explain his strange behavior. The way Bakayev was acting was suspicious, and it wasn't just his behavior, it was also what he was saying. At one point, he says something that translates to, "It's kind of the middle of August. I go to Germany. Everything is in our hands." But in actuality, the video was posted at the end of September, a long ways off from kind of the middle of August, another indication that this was a scripted video that had potentially been recorded over a month ago.
Yeah, I say, it could have been filmed in August. And kind of the middle of August, but not uploaded until almost the end of September.
But even if it was scripted and recorded earlier, it still shows us that Bakayev is safe, right? I mean, he's in Germany after all, far away from the persecution of the Chechen government. Well, analyzing the room further, this point might not actually be true. Just looking at the room, many have noticed that its features are not consistent to a home in Germany. The ceiling, air conditioning vent, wallpaper, and lighting design all don't seem to line up, as from a design perspective, you would be hard-pressed to find any interior like it in Germany, as it's typically never seen in European homes. And rather, this interior design most closely resembles a home from Chechnya. Along with this, both the chair and the couch shown in the footage are Russian-made. So between the bad acting and the seemingly off location...
Bro, you didn't even... Now that they've dissected this, I'm like, bro, they didn't even try. They just said, thought if he said he's in Germany, people are like, well, he's in Germany. That's it, he said it, so it has to be the case. Like, this whole fucking... This entire video can be dissected to prove it's not. This is bad.
It's clear that something suspicious is going on here. A notion that may actually have been confirmed by an energy drink. In the clips, we see a bunch of drinks out on the table of where Bakev is sitting, with one of them being a bottle of Drive M7 energy drink. Now this is significant given the fact that this beverage isn't even sold in the German market. However, it's a common staple in Chechnya. A fact that would later be confirmed by PepsiCo themselves. And many have also pointed out that the other drinks on the table are clearly not German as well. With this information coming out, it's all but been confirmed that these two videos that supposedly show a free man are completely fake.
Yep.
Now, making things even more suspicious, this video came out just 10 days after Bakev's mother had publicly called out the Chechen president about her son's disappearance, an event that caused a minor media frenzy. With all this said, it seems highly likely that Bakev was forced into making these videos by Chechen authorities in order to calm the public's suspicion.
Yep.
And there's a disturbing note to consider if this is true. Remember when Bakev said it's kind of the middle of August, despite the video being posted in late September? Well, maybe the video actually was filmed all the way back in mid-August, and authorities were holding on to it to release if suspicions ever got high. Which, as we know, at the time the videos were released, Bakev's own mother was calling out the government and getting all the media involved. So by the time these videos were posted, there was a very likely chance that they were already a month old. Which means that throughout that time, Bakev was likely being beaten and tortured at a concentration camp where people supposedly didn't last very long.
Nope.
So when this channel was started, and these two videos were released, it seems highly likely that Zilian Bakev was already dead.
He was dead, yep.
It's clear that YouTube can be quite a disturbing platform at times, with many of its darkest channels hiding behind masks, and I can only imagine how many more there are out there, hiding in plain sight, just waiting for us to uncover. I want to give a special shout out to my...
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this reaction video. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.